Probably morning wherever you are, very likely. For me, it's the early afternoon, 2:20, which means 8:20 back home in the Eastern time. Thursday, December 1st, first day of December. So it's exciting. This is officially my favorite time of the year. This month because of a lot of good events for me and holidays that I like. So I'm very excited about December. I'm always excited about December. It's a good month for habit changes and things because New Year's is so great for that stuff. It gets people excited about it, whether or not we actually do need to wait for a day. Um, but it's just a good time to think about changes. I like it. Doug, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm feeling a little under the weather, but that's the time of the year, I
Yeah,
guess. So
my favorite time of year comes with sicknesses. I
yeah,
guess.
your favorite time of the year comes with
I was just saying that. Yeah,
me waking up like
you didn't come in with any sort of dance or anything, so I have a sense that you're under the weather. I
yeah,
also heard you say in a meeting yesterday that you thought it was coming, so
uh-huh.
that's not good.
Matt, I got a funny story.
Okay.
Let's kick us off here. We talked a lot about those 16-foot skeletons
Yes.
for Halloween, the Halloween decorations.
Yep. Definitely.
Well, for whatever reason, I have no idea why. I'm not a decorations person. I'm not looking at decoration articles or whatever, but Facebook has started recommending this group called 16-foot skeleton owners or something along those lines. and it's all these people taking their skeletons and making them look like Santa Claus and all this stuff, but like continuing the Santa decorations well beyond Halloween.
Okay. Well, that's a good use of the skeleton. Like we said, it is not cheap for one of those things. I don't know what they cost, but I think it's over $300 or $400 at least. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's cool that you can customize them and put your own stuff on there because I was thinking it's neat that people bought it, but it seems like so many people bought those this year, and just the whole new wave of Halloween decorations this year, that I saw a whole lot of duplicates in the neighborhood, and it just you were the one who got this big skeleton, and then three other people in the neighborhood have the exact same thing. It kind of ruins it a little bit. It makes it not so fun or spooky. So I guess the customizing with your own costumes is the next phase.
So it's maybe I could be a decorations person if that decoration can be used for every single holiday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like the lights they said that you put up one time and you just change the colors with the remote control all year long.
It could be Halloween skeleton, Christmas skeleton, Easter bunny skeleton, and all kinds of stuff.
Have you put any decorations up this year, or you don't do them at all?
We did our tree this past weekend, which was a little early for us, but we were motivated and went ahead and did it. And so we have a few things around the house, and then I am going to hang some lights outside this weekend. Just very, very simple white lights around the porch.
Okay, good. I like it. Never too early for a tree, in my opinion. I think that is a good move by you. All right, let's see who's here today. Decent crowd, because this early time is not a popular time for sure, and I understand why. But a lot of the regulars are here. I see Steven says, Guten Tag, Matt. Good morning, Doug. He's being considerate of each of our respective languages. Jeffrey Hudnall.
Whole health experience. Yeah. Well, they need to comment. If people comment. Yeah.
Anyway, but thank you for being here at this odd time.
Oh no, I'm good.
Doug, is something wrong?
Yeah.
No, you're okay. Yeah. So anyway, anything? I mean, World Cup news: Messi advanced, which is cool because no one wanted him out just yet. I don't think so. But not a whole lot of interesting stuff. There was, I don't know. Mexico bounced. Didn't make it this year. Otherwise, I've got no real.
Is that a big upset? That seems surprising.
I mean, Saudi Arabia gave them a harder time maybe than they should have, and they just sort of beat Mexico. Sorry, no, they beat. I forget who Saudi Arabia beat early on, but but they just made the group different than maybe it was expected to be. So yeah, I think people would have predicted that Mexico would make it out rather than whoever the other team was. I'm already forgetting. Poland, I think. Anyway, so that is that. We got some stuff. I see, Doug, you have, despite being sick and under the weather, you've filled the show plan with all kinds of bullet points and things.
Yeah.
I have no idea what these things are, so you need to tell me what's up.
Okay, so I got two examples of plant-based diet hitting the mainstream in positive ways here.
Okay.
and I wanted to share both of them. The first one was really quick. Katie was at the grocery store yesterday, not at Aldi's, at Ingles, and
Okay.
and in the checkout aisle there was a Better Homes and Gardens magazine, and it was all about plant-based stews. And she that stood out to her, and that stood out to me too.
Yeah,
As Better Homes and Gardens, she don't really think of being a pro vegan magazine, all
definitely not.
having plant-based stews.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is good. And
And
in the checkout line, that way people get to see it even when they're not looking for it.
yeah, definitely. And then the second one was actually pretty cool. I want you to after this episode, I want you to go listen to it. I was going to send it to you, but I didn't have time to do that to listen to. So this is an NPR Morning Edition segment. There's also an article, but it's worth listening to that I heard on the car this morning, dropping my daughter off at school. And it was Jack Bishop from what's it called America's Test Kitchen. And they have a new book that just came out called Vegan Cooking for Two. And on the segment, Jack and A. Martinez, who's the host of Morning Edition, or one of them, cooked a plant-based chili that was meaty. It was supposed to be indistinguishable from meat chili. They chose to use Beyond Meat, but the way they were talking about it was exactly what we're talking about here, of introducing someone who isn't all that comfortable with plant-based foods to something that is plant-based, and kind of showing them an alternative to a plant-based chili. And so, the chili sounded good. Like it was Beyond Meat and a little bit of kidney beans. Sounded totally fine, but just the way they were having the conversation, felt so like the conversations I want people to be having all over the world right now. Of you should try this, and just kind of like just play with it and see if you're uncomfortable with it, and see how it feels, see how it tastes. But what was the most interesting is the host Martinez, he they had done a 4th of July plant-based burger episode at 4th of July, and that was, as he said, it was my very first plant-based meal, which I thought was kind of funny for anyone to say, but I think that goes back to what we were talking about yesterday of plant-based meals are now nothing but alternative meats. He was like, that was my very first plant-based meal, and since then I haven't looked back, and I've been eating a lot of plant-based meats. And so then they started getting into this conversation of like, he's all fired up about it, and he's like, should I be tricking people and just serving people a vegan burger, or having people over and just not telling them that it's meat? And so that kind of sparked a little interesting conversation. The conclusion was that you should do both and have taste tests, so people are you're gamifying it a little bit, and allowing people to kind of experience it. Of course, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't buy meat and cook it and serve it to people. But I don't know, for someone who's maybe not a vegan and just kind of getting into more plant-based foods, I just thought it was interesting.
Shocking that America's Test Kitchen wants to do a taste test. They think that's what you should do. That's what their whole
true. That's
publication is based on testing different foods and seeing what's better and what make this version, not that version. So that's funny. But yeah, good. I mean, I love that stuff. America's Test Kitchen is great, and I think it's good. When they do vegan stuff, they do it well, in my experience. Vegan for Everybody is a really great book. I think it's everybody, maybe everyone. That's a great book. And I don't know. They're just sort of authoritative to me when it comes to cooking. I just believe that they're kind of in it try to be scientific about what they do. And so when they can tell you that plant-based food tastes good, I tend to trust them. And I think people probably do too, those who follow them. So I'm definitely a fan of that.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a listen. I'll have to listen to the article, or the whatever it will be called.
Yeah.
The segment.
Good.
Speaking of Aldi, I didn't choose the cover, but Veg News today has the 21 best vegan items at Aldi, so that they're as if to spite Katie Hay, they made a whole article about the vegan items at Aldi.
Did Tanya write it?
I don't think so, but I'm not actually sure about that. I often look at their names. I didn't spend much time on this article. But for those who don't know, okay. Well, Doug, a while ago, his wife Katie went to the store and said Aldi had no vegan food, and then Doug reported here that they had nothing good for vegans, And then my mom like sent all these pictures with circles on them and things, proving that there was good vegan food and they were good deals too. So it was one of the early controversies on this show. not even that early, a couple weeks ago, really. Anyway, I don't have that one here, but I do have some other quick ones from Veg News. One is that Carvel or Carvel, I don't know how you pronounce. I think my wife says Carvel, and she grew up near the family or something. I don't know, maybe some of the first local stores. But we had one near us in Maryland, and we called it Carvel. Or no, we called it Carvel. Actually, I forget which one we called it. But anyway, they've just sort of always been the classic.
Carvel. You said it the same both times. What's the debate?
One's Carvel,
and Carvel.
I don't know. It's just which side it's either Carvel or it's Carvels.
Okay.
It's either you accent the car or you accent the vel, and I forget which one, but I always do the opposite for my wedding. Anyway, to me, it was always the premium ice cream cake. You could get the ones from Friendlies or whatever, and they weren't good. This is in the non-vegan world, of course.
Yeah.
You could get the Friendlies ones and whatever, and it was fine for a kid. But Carvel's always had better. It just I don't know. It was premium. So I've always had a soft spot for them. I like their ice cream cakes. It's only ice cream cakes, as far as I know. But anyway, they have now come out with a vegan one.
Wow.
They're not calling it vegan. Actually, it's two of them. Two different flavors. It's made with oat milk. They're not calling it vegan because it's made on the same equipment as or in a facility where they share equipment with the non-vegan items, which to me is, I wish we could kind of just move past that. Like they're cleaning I assume they clean their equipment.
They have to be, yeah.
Right, and they're not killing additional animals or harming or additional animals by making this stuff on the non-vegan stuff. So I don't know. I know some people are different than me for sure. But to me, that's vegan. I don't. You can claim maybe it's not certified vegan, but you can call that vegan in my book. But they don't. And fine, I respect it for that. Veg News does call it vegan in their headline, so that's fine too. So they have two flavors. One of them is double chocolate oat milk cake, and one of them is strawberry raspberry oat milk cake. Both seem pretty good. I'm not a huge chocolate ice cream fan, so I would definitely opt for the strawberry raspberry. However, neither of these have the layer of Oreo crumbles in the middle, or whatever those crumbles were that were always so delicious in these Carvel ice cream cakes. The bottom crust layer and then the middle.
Right.
You expect that to be the crumbles.
Right.
And it does not appear that they are at all. There's some swirls of fudge and things. And some swirls of fruit in the other one. But I don't know. That honestly, that would probably prevent me from asking for this as my birthday cake on December 26th, which is one reason why it's my favorite month.
No,
so I don't know.
It looks like there's no crust at all, really.
Crumbles. Yeah, and maybe Oreos are vegan, but it's not. I don't think that was ever Oreo. It was something else.
Yeah.
So they need to develop a vegan of that, or just get a vegan version of that and put it in there. You have to have that in there to make it a good Carvel cake.
Would you ever buy a cake just to a cake like this just to have around?
Never, ever. Just would not does not approach my worldview. I just don't do that. Do you buy cakes?
No. I don't think I ever would. But I'm looking at this. I'm like, I'm probably never gonna buy it for a birthday, right? If I'm gonna buy a birthday cake, I'm gonna buy a nicer cake than an ice cream cake.
What do you mean nicer? You don't like? Okay, some people like ice cream cake for their
birthday.
Well,
I do
Erin, my wife always asks. She always wants it.
Who does?
Erin always wants an ice cream cake. That's what she grew up having, so that's her.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe that's just a personal difference, personal preference, I guess.
Right.
There were a couple of years where we had the Hop, an ice creamery, here in Asheville. That a couple of years I did ice cream cakes from there because that was the easiest way to get a vegan cake around here.
Yes, that's right. We've done several of those for sure in my family.
So this would be an easier and probably cheaper version than that, which would be good.
Yeah, those hop cakes, man, they're expensive. We spent like $40 on a cake once, and I said, we're not doing that anymore.
No, it's just ice cream.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd like to try one of these, and honestly, I'd be okay with having it on my birthday if anyone's in the market for that. So exciting, good to hear. I like when this stuff happens. The other Veg News thing I've got today is
no, hang on,
possible reaction.
Okay. Do you want to know a fun fact about me? Speaking of
yes,
pronunciation,
would love that.
I still, whenever I say pin and pin, I say it the same. And I can't, when people say it, I don't know what they're talking about. Like if someone says, hey, like I got a pin, I still
you can't hear the difference. You're like one of those
hear the
bushmen who can't distinguish different shades of blue because they don't have blue in their culture.
I cannot hear the difference. I cannot say the difference. Like obviously I know they're spelled differently, but but I just like
Wow,
that
you
that
can't hear it?
has honestly caused some real confusion in my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a hearing defect, right? It's just that your brain just won't hear it because
Yeah,
you
I mean,
just
right. I mean,
grew up.
my ears work fine, I think.
Well, your family had. I mean, a lot of families, if you get to know, when you get to know someone, you marry them, you realize they have their own set of pronunciations
Yeah.
that are completely alien to you. And I'm beginning to learn yours with Crackle Barrel,
Cracker Barrel.
and you'll say Aldi's instead of Aldi, and you say and now pin and pen are the same.
Ah, Bianca. Bianca's the same.
Bianca's the same.
I knew
Okay,
Bianca and I,
now
we're
it's
just connected. We're
legit.
like,
I know.
there's something there.
Yeah, I think so. All right, and let's see. Whole Health Experience says that her nephew requested ice cream cake for the 9th grade ceremony. So not everybody doesn't like ice cream cake, Doug, for their birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And Schlado, maybe a new listener, says chocolate crumbles and fudge are the best part of the cake. Yeah, I don't need the fudge, but the chocolate crumbles need that. If you're gonna get ice cream cake, you need some kind of textural variety in there.
Mm.
Otherwise it's just not really a cake. So yeah, I'm with you. I would not ever have one of these sitting around the house. And hopefully that's not what they're planning people are doing, but maybe people do that.
Bianca
so
thinks it's a Southern thing, by the way, which that might be because I never noticed it until I lived in DC and everyone called me out on it all the time. So that's probably it.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, so the other one is this is a Domino's thing. Veg News. We talked about pizza the first day I was in Germany. I remember there was 14 pizza places you could get vegan things. Anyway, Veg News has now put out a pure Domino's article. I don't know if it's new or if it's just updated, but what they have there, they say Domino's pizza is not vegan unless the regular crust is not vegan. You have to get the crispy thin crust, and somehow I glossed right over that when we presented the pizzas and the ways to order them vegan when we presented it a week and a half ago. But we told the story of you and I going and getting it after the casino night. We went in the parking lot, got a Domino's cheeseless, and I think we told them no Parmesan sprinkle around the outside. So I don't know if I'm even remembering correctly. I know there's a Mellow Mushroom does a sprinkle that you need to have them not put on there, but I don't know if Domino's has that. But I'm embarrassed. We said we ate this pizza. Many times I've had Domino's pizza just without cheese. It's never a good meal, but you eat it now and then, or like at a birthday party, you tell them order one without cheese, and we'll just eat that. But apparently that's not vegan. I did not do any research to figure out why, but it's a huge embarrassment to this show that we said we ate it, and here we go. I wonder if Veg News did this on purpose to us.
Yeah. Very, very possible.
I think we said that they should have done a better job explaining. I don't know, saying how to order at Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah, they're like, it's really you guys are at fault here.
Which is true, and in many cases that is probably more true than we're probably more wrong than they are most of the time. I would guess.
Well, that's
Steven says they're labeled vegan here. Okay,
that's too bad. I'm sorry that we did that, and we promoted it several times. So we're gonna have to go back and
splice in a little version where we say crispy thin crust.
Yeah,
so you and I
we ordered a crispy thin crust pizza. Here's some hot news. Oh no, this is in 2020. Domino's CEO divulged that they were testing plant-based sausage crumbles. That's 2 years ago, so not almost 3 years ago. Right. Not a good sign.
No, obviously that didn't work. But I know there's a UK Domino's, or there are Domino's that do it, and I think Australia is the one where Domino's had the fully vegan options now with Impossible or somebody and vegan cheese. Pretty sure that was Domino's, not some other one, but not positive. So anyway, there's that for you, and then only one more I think today, Doug, or we have two more. One more. This is a long one, or a big article, which I think is a good discussion. It's from The Beat. We don't really tend to do The Beat articles that much. I don't know why. It's just not. It's a lot of recipes and stuff, which usually is not a great fit for this show. By the way, teaser, they've got a really great holiday gift guide. And this is December 1st. I cracked open my vegan advent calendar. Did I tell you that I got one of those? I think I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Here. So we had some nice chocolate this morning, actually just like 10 minutes ago. And it's December. So I like December. It's fun times. I think certainly we will do a long holiday extravaganza episode of this show when it's time. It's not quite time yet. But the beginning of December sounds like we need to get going with that stuff. So they have a holiday gift guide that we'll talk about tomorrow, probably for most of the whole episode. That'll be an early episode, 8:15. Again, you can always listen to it on the podcast. Just look up Plant Based Morning Show where you listen to podcasts and you'll find us. But anyway, what they've got today is kind of a holiday themed, and I think they wrote it for Thanksgiving, but now they removed Thanksgiving from the headline, and now I've found it. It says what to do after overeating and drinking from an RD. So I think they wrote this for if you ate a huge Thanksgiving meal.
Yep.
But it applies all holiday season long, really, because people are overeating and over drinking during the holiday season. That's a lot of what it's about for some people. So what do you do after you big meal and you feel terrible? And it's kind of later that day and the next day they're talking about that time period.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and it raises some interesting questions, some things that I often wonder in my own head. So I'm curious about your opinion. But here's their just the high level what they're suggesting. They say take a walk because some research has shown that physical activity can help your blood glucose response. Kind of one of these traditions where I know you doubt me on these, Doug, that these traditions that happen, religious happen, they have health reasons why people do them. I think people like to walk after the exercise or after the big meal because it helps digestion. They don't do it for that reason, but people who do it have tended to be healthier, maybe live longer, maybe reproduce more. So it's a trait that gets into our genes, maybe.
Is that a religious
take
thing?
A walk. No, but it's an evolutionary.
Okay.
thing.
All right. Okay.
It's a tradition.
Tradition. Sure.
Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one. Stay hydrated. They found that 50 girls who drank 2.5 cups of water 30 minutes before each meal had reductions in
Girls?
BMI and body composition after it says girls. I don't understand why they did that on girls only. And is that
And
mean
is girls
women or is that
imply like young kids or
I think so. I don't know.
that is weird.
That was my interpretation. But anyway, the idea though is that hangovers, some of those hangover symptoms that we all know and love come from dehydration. Policy diuretic robs your body of fluids, so you might as well put those fluids back in. That one I have some questions about that one. I guess I'll bring it up now. When you put water into your system, it's a lot of these, like, I don't know if it's new age or alkaline people, the people who are just sort of foodie types, often pseudoscientific foodie types, I guess. They'll tell you don't drink water with meals because it dilutes the digestive enzymes and it makes it actually harder for you to digest. So, one could take this advice and say, well, I'm just going to drink fluids all day long, including at mealtime, or even when I'm really, really full. And I would think if you're full and you're feeling bloated and bad, I don't think you want to just dump water into your system because I think you do exactly that. You dilute the excess. So I really agree with that one. Certainly you want to be hydrated maybe later on once you've cleared some of the food out, or at least your body's digested it. But I don't know. I don't know about that one.
What about with the alcohol part?
What about it?
Well, will alcohol break down quicker? Will your digestive enzymes break down the alcohol quicker?
Okay. So if you're just swapping the water for alcohol, that's a good move. I'm all for that.
Sure.
But
they're like one for one. They're like one for one idea that like I used to do in college.
Yeah.
Like,
right. No, I think it's good. Probably mainly because it just slows you down with drinking. More than dumping water in your system, that just makes you drink a little bit slower. So I'm all for that idea. I'm just saying, if you're feeling really bloated and full, which I think this article's targeting, you're at that point, emergency.
Yeah.
Go look up beat.com and figure out what to do. You don't just start drinking water when your stomach feels uncomfortable. That's my whole health experience is backing me up here. No, she's not. It's important to drink water 30 minutes before or after, so those digestive fluids have time to do their work. Yeah, but not right during. Exactly. So I think that is agreeing with me.
Yeah.
But anyway, in general, not bad advice, of course, to be hydrated. And then this one is interesting. They say don't skip meals. They say don't. We're often hard on ourselves after a day of eating more than we anticipated, leaving us feeling like we need to skip a few meals to make up for how much we ate. They say don't do that because skipping a meal or two could wind up making you overeat again, with one 2020 study stating that adults who skipped breakfast and lunch wound up eating almost 200 calories more at dinner. So is the problem with this statement obvious? They're acting like it doesn't work since it makes you eat 200 more calories at dinner. But if you skipped 1,000 calories at breakfast and lunch, then mission accomplished.
Yeah. Okay.
headed-
All right. Surely they didn't miss that,
I
right?
know.
Are they saying that in total, like the calories for the day, you just had such a massive dinner that you made up for it plus 200?
It doesn't sound that. It says 200 more calories a dinner.
Oh man,
I don't think anyone.
that's a pretty big mistake.
Right. I don't think many people could eat their whole breakfast and lunch calories plus 200 in their dinner,
Yeah.
plus their dinner calories. I mean, that would be a massive amount of eating. So I don't think that's what happens. And I think giving meals is a great idea when you're stuffed. I think that's a perfect, again, going back to like probably the way we evolved to have festivities and celebrations. You would feast and then go wild without eating, like the Fat Tuesday right before Lent begins.
Yeah.
You load up and then you go wild without, and it's probably more natural. I'm sure people will not like this, but I would say it's more natural to eat a whole lot and then take some time off than it is to spread that same amount throughout at even intervals throughout the time period. I just think that's more matching with probably how we evolved to eat.
Okay, so I do want to call this out because I think it's important. The beat here, the second paragraph in that section talks about not to mention the skipping meals with the mindset that you don't deserve to eat or
yeah, no,
because of your overeating will potentially turn into something serious. So, I mean, I wonder if this suggestion has more to do with like if you're feeling stuffed and you're feeling guilty about what you're having overeaten and just trying to don't skip meals, don't feel guilty about it, don't like let that become a thing of that triggers some sort of
right,
just disordered eating or anything like that. And I do think I do want to call not us but like everybody out on the way everybody talks about intermittent fasting as this positive thing. We talk about it all the time. We both have either actively done it or done it in the past. But I do think that a lot of people struggle with food and food habits, and that should be part of the conversation. I think when deciding on who intermittent fasting is good for.
Yes, that's fine. I can agree with that. Yeah. So I totally agree that like the advice we are giving here, I'm not really talking to someone who has eating disorder problems. If you have that, you probably shouldn't listen to that show all that much. I don't really know. It just sounds like we talk a whole lot about junk foods and things that I would think might be triggering if that was really a thing for you.
That's true.
I don't know. Bianca's saying that she has struggled with it, so obviously that's a counterexample because Bianca listens to the show all the time. But anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I totally agree that if like none of what I just said is about you don't deserve to eat, right?
Sure, of course, right.
You eat a ton, and then to me it seems like a very natural way to sort of balance it out would be don't eat for a little while because first of all you're not going to be all that hungry. At least I don't think you would be. And I'm just thinking when I think evolution, I think how that probably worked. I think it's a very, very natural way to do things. Would be eat a whole lot, then don't eat a lot for I mean that could be a great fasting day. But if it's totally going to get wrapped up in emotional stuff and cause problems, then disregard all that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so here's my other question that I always think about myself. If I eat a bunch of junk food, and it happens now and then, if I'm traveling or I'm holiday or whatever, you eat a ton of junk food, and then here's a good example. You're out all day at like a brewery with family, just fun event, not overindulging, but you have a couple beers, you eat some tater tots, you get home and you just don't feel good. Just like you kind of just want to go to sleep or lay down and do nothing. But you have salad in the fridge and you could have a nice big salad right now and actually get some vegetables in for the day. Is it better to add that food into your day when your day is already filled with probably too many calories and too many calories that aren't good at all for you? Is the salad still a net good because it's putting all these good nutrients in? Giving you fiber, which helps you actually to move to that digestive process to advance things. They actually give that tip in this article.
Some good gut health.
Yeah, so that'd be a reason to do it. But I always wonder, is it better just to kind of do what I suggested earlier, is that after you've eaten a lot, fast for a little while and let your body do its thing, get it out of there without any other interference?
I don't know. It's a great question, and I don't know the answer to that. I think I would lean more towards just not eating if I'm full than like forcing down a salad. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Where do you land on that?
Well, if I was full, I wouldn't eat it because I have a hard time believing your body wants it if you're really that full and feeling terrible. But if it's like dinner time and you just sort of ate all day and drank all day and like you could eat but you don't need to, I think I tend to try to eat something healthy. I just feel like mentally it just feels like it helps me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling
Yeah.
that day
What
wasn't a
about?
total loss.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess so. Like if that's true. If it's basically dinner, especially if you think you're going to be hungry later, right? Like go ahead and eat, get back on a normal schedule so your
Mhm.
body can continue that digestion, get back on that schedule. So then you're not like not eating and then 9 p.m. you get a little bit hungry and you go and try to eat something because you're not going to want a salad at that point.
Right.
And then you're
Right.
just going to
Then
make it
you
worse.
crack open a beer and get some tater tots in the air fryer and then you're right back where you started.
Once I know that tater tots are even an option, like it's over.
Right. All right. The Whole Health Experience says if you would enjoy the salad, yeah. So that's a good rule of thumb, probably, because your body often knows. If you would enjoy it, then yes. Or drink a Compliment Greens drink. And I love this, that the audience is doing the advertising for us. They appreciate that the show is presented by Compliment, made possible by Compliment, and they can do some user-generated content for us,
Awesome.
suggesting
Love
Compliment Greens. Like it. All right, moving on. They say not to eat foods that are hard to digest, like dairy products, fatty, fried, and processed food, more alcohol, or caffeine. Those things do not help you when you're not feeling good. I think that all makes sense. That nightcap will not help you on Christmas Eve. But you know what? There's something to be said for celebrating and just going for it. Having that piece of pumpkin pie and whatever cocktail Doug is making up. That one, and then we go eat fiber-rich foods, which is what we talked about. Get the salad, the greens, whole grains, beans, lentils, peas, nuts, and seeds. These are all good. And then sip on a detox drink. If only we had a Compliment detox drink that people could advertise for us. We could mention that right now. Anyone?
You know, this is I'm not gonna call it my detox drink, but this is my anytime I'm not feeling well drink. It's a combination of several powders.
All right, what is it? Are they all Compliment, or some of them Compliment?
They're all
powders?
Compliment. Yep. No, it's
Hydrate.
Hydrate.
Okay.
It's Hydrate, which is our electrolyte drink.
Yep.
Daily Greens and Gut Nurture, all mixed together with a little but of added lemon juice and some water. And it sounds like it's not going to taste good because Hydrate is like strawberry, lemon, ginger, or Gut Nurture is ginger, and then Greens is green apple. But it works. It's really pretty good, and I have no idea if it's mostly mental or what, but it feels like it always makes me feel better. So,
no, it's not mental. Science-backed, evidence-based cure for sicknesses. Doug has discovered and is presenting here.
I got to give credit where credit's due. It's another team member, Chantal, is the one who introduced me to she calls it the super drink.
Okay, good. Not actually science-backed. The products are science-backed. Cannot actually say that it cures any sort of sickness.
No.
But hangovers, maybe we can say that.
Yeah,
not that you're hungover. You're legitimately sick.
I am. Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. Bottom line: overeating is part of life. Just get back on track. I totally agree with that one. I think if you can not beat yourself up about it and be okay with celebrating, I think it's a very natural thing to do. So don't beat yourself up.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's probably evolutionary natural, but it's also just like a good positive. I mean, I don't want to call it positive, but like it just happens. And usually you do it, especially if it's around the holidays. You're doing it because you're with a bunch of people and you're having a big meal, and there's like all this additional really positive things that are coming as part of that overindulgence, overeating experience, and it's okay to do that. You know, I mean, it's okay to have fun and eat with your family and have some treats, treat yourself. So
exactly. With family is key. If you can have it with friends and family, I think that will largely prevent you from getting into trouble.
Yeah, right.
So if it starts becoming your own comfort thing you do by yourself.
It's a difference.
That's probably how you go down a bad road. But yes, we're talking about with family, feast, celebratory,
holidays.
Go for it. Don't worry about it. Bianca says she's enjoyed Green Greens and Gut Nurture. Listen to this. More advertising for us. We'll have to try it with Hydrate and Lemon. There you go. Good. All right. So we are about at time here, Doug. Anything additional for you to say to the nice people before tomorrow?
I don't think so. we haven't plugged this Instagram account recently. If you're new to it, be sure to like the Plant Based Morning Show Instagram account. It's Doug
Yep.
Hay on Instagram. You are the real Matt Frazier on Instagram. Give us a like and follow.
Just real Matt Frazier.
Oh.
Just real Matt Frazier, not the.
Real Matt.
And also no the in the Plant Based Morning Show. Just Plant Based Morning Show.
Sorry.
But if
I'm
you're
just
watching live, you
screwing
can
it
just
up.
click. No, you're okay. You're good. If you're here live, you just click the button. It's not like you need to know exactly the name. But for the podcast listeners, of which there are many,
Mhm.
Plant Based Morning Show on Instagram. Real Matt Frazier. It's Doug Hay. That's who to follow.
We
The
get
compliment account. Don't follow that one. Shut down.
it is.
Spam tag.
It did get shut down. It's been a week now.
Did we ever get to the bottom of that?
Apparently, it was a
just
mistake.
unknown?
It was the like lots and lots of accounts got shut down by mistake, and we were one of them. And unfortunately, we haven't gotten it back yet. But the tomorrow is Friday. Might be one of your last shows, or it will be your last show in.
Will be my
Germany.
last show in Germany, and it's an off day for our company.
And an off day for a company, but we're still
Right.
going to do it, because we care
But
that
listen
much.
to this, but Doug, despite sickness, Doug is going to be showing up on his off day at 8:15 a.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
Speaking of which, Steven says he's loving the commitment you guys are showing, even with time zone challenges. Thank you, Steven, for filling in to help us do that one day.
Yep.
We managed to not let it go unplayed. I don't know what we're going to do about Monday, Doug. Are we going to do an episode on Monday, or are we just going to give ourselves a little break? Because I'm going to be in the plane all day.
TBD.
Okay.
If we can pull it off, let's do it.
I feel like if we do one Friday on our company off day, I feel like we deserve to have Monday.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm good with that.
I don't know. I don't want to give too much confusion to people. I think it's been a little bit of a bump in the road, this trip of mine for this show. Just a lot of people asking, when are we doing stuff? Are we posting schedules? Where's the podcast? Where's the stuff? So I don't want to just keep interjecting confusion.
Yeah. And
So I feel like we just skip a day.
well, skipping a day is
Go ahead.
interjecting more confusion. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying I feel like just not trying to do it with a different host, different time. It just might be easier just to have the day off. Just to,
Yeah. I want
probably
to
can
say
make this
if you
ourselves,
join
not a problem.
if you started listening to the show in the last week, or two, I hope that you'll stick around a little bit. We've pulled it off. I think we've done a good job while you're in Germany, but it hasn't quite felt as natural, probably because of the weird times.
No, definitely not.
And just chaos that happens to get us to go live. So I'm looking forward to you being
good
back
reminder.
in order for us to
Me too.
get back into the 11 a.m. routine.
Yes, definitely. So we will be back at 11 a.m. beginning next Tuesday, and that will be a relief in many ways. So that'll be fun. But thank you for hanging with us, and I'm glad we are still managing to get them up. Okay. On that note, that is all. Come back tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Eastern, or listen on the podcast for our Go Through the Beats holiday gift guide, vegan and sustainable gift guide. Should be fun. Will not be the last of the gift guide episodes we do, I'm sure, but it will be the first. So that's good.
All right. Thanks,
Talk
everybody.
to you later on. Goodbye.